Hi, my name is Barbara Merrill, and I am the CEO of ANCOR. That stands for the American Network of Community Options and Resources. We're the national association representing providers across the country in Washington, D.C., before the White House, before Congress, and also before the federal courts. We're advocates for quality services. We delve deeply into federal rules and regulations, and we fight to ensure that states receive federal Medicaid funding for community services for people with intellectual disabilities. We have one overarching guiding principle, and that is that federal funding and rules must advance the ability of providers to recruit and retain qualified direct support professionals. Because we know what you know and what NADSP reminds us frequently, that quality begins with the work that you do each and every day. So that's why when John Raphael and NADSP asked me to share a few words of encouragement with you, I jumped at the opportunity to personally thank you for your commitment to your profession, your commitment to the individuals you support, and your commitment to doing your part to making us all better, making this nation of ours a stronger, more inclusive society where everyone is seen, valued, and included. You've always been our rock stars, and we're passionate about telling the world about the important work that you do every day. And that was before the coronavirus, COVID-19, hit. I don't know if you followed any of this. I'm going to take you back just a little bit. You might be new to this profession, may not have been around, but in 2017, there was a huge fight in Washington about the best way to provide funding to states for health and human services. And that includes community services for people with disabilities. The upshot was that it was a very scary and a very stressful year of advocating against cuts to funding. And we prevailed, we stopped the cuts. But the silver lining was that for the first time, a lot of people across this country came to understand the importance of Medicaid funding for people with disabilities. That was a really, really big moment. But a dot was missing. And it was a really important dot. Medicaid funding just doesn't magically ensure that people live better lives. Medicaid funding supports the work that you're doing. It's the work of direct support professionals, those of you on the front lines that have transformed people's lives. It takes a skilled, dedicated, direct support professional workforce to make the promise of the Americans with Disabilities Act, as interpreted by the Olmstead decision, a reality. So it's you. So now we have a pandemic. We're in the midst of the biggest pandemic we've ever seen. It's presenting challenges that none of us ever thought that we'd see in our lifetimes. And you're truly at the forefront. My God, we are so humbled by the countless stories that we hear of direct support professionals coolly, calmly, selflessly showing up and just doing your job. We at ANCOR I just need you to know this. We are so deeply inspired by you. Please know that we take the fight to Congress to not forget the faces of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and the staff that is supporting them because of our being so inspired by what you're doing. So the silver lining in 2017 was that people started learning about why Medicaid was important. Let's together ensure that 2020 is the year when Congress and ordinary Americans across the country realize that the work that you do is truly essential and take meaningful steps to recognize that direct support professionals are true professionals that need to be recognized as such in every way that counts. So thank you. Kind of want to take a deep breath. You know, that's my policy, you know, more serious part of sharing just how inspired we are by all of you. But I'd like to switch gears for a moment. I want to share my screen. I'll show you a picture. As I was getting ready to do this presentation, share a couple of thoughts with you, I put a little thought into what would be my background. As you can see, you know, I chose a rug that we have hanging on the wall. It's the Tree of Life. To me, that represents community. But there was another picture that I thought about having as my background, but it's framed, it's got glass, shows reflections. So instead, I thought I would just take a picture of it and show it to you. And as you can see, it's a picture of a dog on a bed. It's actually a pretty famous picture. Certainly in New England, where I'm from, you often see it in people's houses. It's an Andrew Wyeth. It's hanging in my bedroom. I love this picture, and I've drawn particular strength from this picture through this pandemic. And let me tell you why. Although I love this picture, and I framed this picture probably 30 years ago, I've just never been someone who has allowed dogs in the bed. My kids could attest to that. My husband can attest to that. Cats in the bed, yes, but no dogs in the bed. But COVID is teaching me something. And I think COVID is helping me to grow as an individual in as such that it's teaching me that there are some things that you just got to let go. We all work so hard. We are throwing ourselves into our jobs because our jobs and your jobs matter so profoundly. Literally, lives are at stake. So when we go home, what are we doing to take care of ourselves? You know, what are we doing to make sure that when we go back to work, we have the energy and the passion and the strength to improve people's lives, to keep people safe, to do what it is that you do. And so what I'm learning during COVID, and I hope that, you know, you are having similar experiences, is that some of this stuff of not letting dogs in the bed or not doing this or not doing that, that stuff just doesn't matter. It's the work that you're doing. It's the work that we're doing to support ourselves, the work that we're doing to support our families, the work that we're doing to support the people that we love, the work that we're doing to support the lives of people with disabilities. That's what matters. So at the end of the day, in the middle of the night, if you're working the night shift in the beginning of the day, please take care of yourself. Do what it is that matters, and just let some of that stuff go that might be interfering with your ability to really refresh. Because these times are tough, and we all need to reach as deeply as we can. We're doing it. You guys are doing it. My hat's off to you. Thank you, John. Thank you, NADSP, for this opportunity to share my thoughts. Bye-bye.